Mark couldn't believe what he was seeing as the fighting spread to almost half the crowd. The other half pulled back into a big circle and watched as if it was a Super Bowl. Mark looked up onto the stage, hoping Rod would say something to quiet the crowd. His friend had more the look of a soon-to-be roadkill in his eyes than understanding that someone needed to take charge of the situation. Mark looked at Barney and saw him grinning at the melee. Well, somebody has to do something, he thought. He jumped up on the stage and got behind the microphone. Hey, quit it. Everybody stop. His words had no effect on the pugilists. I said stop, he yelled as loud as he could. The last command had the desired effect. Not everyone stopped at once, but within a few seconds the punches had stopped flying. What are you doing? Mark asked in disbelief. We're neighbors. We have to stick together if we want to make it through this crisis, not fight against each other. You should all be ashamed of yourselves. Almost everyone hung his or her head. Mark could hear nothing but the breeze wafting through the treetops. The debate is obviously over. Now we have a decision to make. Mark wanted to come right out and endorse Rob, but he knew he had to be as neutral as long as he was on the stage. He almost couldn't believe the words coming out of his mouth. Both of these men have laid out their plans for the sheriff's office and our county. They both have strong convictions and feel that their way is the best. Our job now is to decide whose plan is better for us. Now go home and think about it. Not just what is best for you personally, but what's best for all of Wilson County. And no matter what the results are, remember, we are all in this together. We have to stand behind whichever man is elected. Petty fighting amongst ourselves will only give the evildoers a foothold on our families, friends, homes, and community. To paraphrase an old saying, we have to stand together or we will surely fall apart. Now go home peacefully and remember that we have to live together no matter what happens. The crowd stood frozen. Finally, men and women began to nod their heads and look at their neighbors they had only a minute ago been fighting with. Hands were shaken in apology and the crowd slowly dispersed. Mark, with bile churning in his stomach, hopped down and made his way to his friends. He wasn't sure if the feeling in his stomach was from his distaste for how everyone had acted or because he'd said something nice about Barney. He decided it was probably some of both. He felt that, overall, Barney had done better in the debate, and that bothered him too. He imagined the outcome would be determined not by how many voted for the candidate they liked, but by voting against who they didn't like. All right, good night. Lights out. I'm not going to do that.